Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of Trenny and C.
You'll notice that we're purposely both not wearing plaid because the Japanimation shirt-wearing Scotch test dummies complained about how much plaid we wear. So
yeah, so there you go. Gray on gray, that's how I roll.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you have any anime shirts in your collection?
I don't have any emoji shirts or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
You?
No, can't say I do.
Because you're a grown man.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today we've got...
Okay. We got W.L. Weller, a.k.a. William LaRue Weller. So you remembered his name.
Oh, thank God, Internet.
Okay, anyway, stick around, find out all about what makes this W.L. Weller special and unique. And
why they call it the poor man's Pappy.
Trenny and C, drinking whiskey, describing all the flavors for you and me. Irish, Scotch, bourbon, and rye. If they like a bottle, they'll tell you why.
Cool. Okay, well, so this guy, W.L. Weller, good bang for your buck. William LaRue. Good bang for your buck. The Special Reserve. This is kind of like the lower version, because you can get different versions of W.L. Weller. And this is kind of the first one in the line, the Special Reserve. But it is bottled at 45%. That's a pretty great bottom.
Yeah, and so it is no age statement,
right.
But it is Kentucky straight bourbon, so made in Kentucky, at least 2 years old.
Yep.
So that's something. It's a good pour.
Good enough.
So yeah, so you know, is what it is, but you get 90 proof, so that you know.
It's pretty nice.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, and this one, so in BC, this one is relatively new on the shelves for us. So
hard to find.
So when I first saw this, it was kind of like, bing, 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 bing,
snap
bing,
it up.
Gotta buy it.
Yeah. What'd you pay for it?
Actually, I think it was only about $38.
Wow. So in the States, it's gonna be like dirt cheap.
Like $15 or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Free.
Yeah, it's so for 45%, $38. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. And it's yummy. So, color.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling this one.
Yeah.
This is new.
Okay.
Again, my own words.
Right.
Walnut shell.
Walnut shell.
Walnut shell, because it's kind of that faded, dull, kind of brown kind of color to it. It's not a big, pepped up, polished, shiny one. It's a bit.
So, but and again, they're all natural colors in bourbon. So
it's lovely.
So I think, like, for us to even have to rate color or give it a score,
who are we to decide?
Who are we? Like, this is the barrel decides.
You like red, I like blue.
Yeah,
whatever.
You know.
Walnut shell.
Yeah, it's rare to find a blue whiskey.
Yeah.
But just saying.
Anyway, so onto the nose.
All right, onto the nose. Okay, so it is kind of, it does have that classic bourbon smell to it.
Oh, yeah.
With the honey.
Vanillas, caramels, for sure.
Toffee, the sweet, the spices. I get more like the nutmeg.
Yeah. Tobacco. It's a bit doughy. It's got a bit of a doughy smell to it. A bit of fig, raisin.
Yeah.
Raisin goes hand in hand with tobacco, in my personal opinion.
Cinnamon.
What's unique about it is I get this tangy sourness to it. And I think it does, well, pretty much all bourbon is a sour mash, but I don't know, it's original handmade sour mash, whatever, they all sour mash pretty much.
So, and I find a lot of bourbons, especially the younger ones, they do tend to have that sour kind of thing that you're talking about. And I think it actually has a lot to do with the fact that the casks are fresh, and it kind of picks up that like slight glue kind of thing. Okay. So it's new and fresh smelling.
Yeah.
But I do also get, like, for the fruit notes I get, it's actually more like almost like a baked apple pie.
Yeah.
It's
good. It's lovely.
All right, so should we move on to taste it?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And this one is like, it's good.
Pretty.
That's again another one of my staple words.
Yeah, you should
good.
patent that.
Yeah.
For 45%, that is actually quite mild.
It is. I also put this mild, creamy, the brown sugar in there.
Mm-hmm.
A little
the brown sugar.
To it.
It's I'd say this is a really good, actually, like beginner's bourbon too, because it's got a lot. It's the wheat, so all bourbons have at least 51%. Yeah, so all bourbons have 51% corn in it to be considered bourbon, and most bourbons use rye as the secondary part of their mash bill, but W.L. Weller, along with Pappy Van Winkle, use wheat as their secondary part of their mash bill. So I think that's why they call this the poor man's Pappy, because it's kind of just a cheaper-ish version of a similar mash bill style. So
and William LaRue is claimed to be the first ever to use wheat as the secondary.
Yeah, that's the mythology.
Fantasy of bourbon.
Yeah. Anyway. Cool. So that's why it does have a little bit of a lighter flavor, and that's kind of where I was going with. It's a good beginner's bourbon because the wheat it doesn't have that spicy tang on the mouth like a lot of bourbons that have a higher rye mash bill.
Yeah, it doesn't have the heat. The heat. But it does, again, it's a bit mellow for 45%. That's not a bad thing. I'm getting like brown sugar, like buttery, creamy apple.
It does have the sweetness is at the forefront.
It's delicious.
It's a good one.
It's quite delicious, especially for the price. I can't get over for the price. You know?
Very good. You can actually, as I was saying, on the nose note, you do get a bit of that apple pie, but it's more the crumble on the apple crumble, like that brown sugar, vanilla. Yeah, we're gonna cut this and go buy an apple pie.
Go eat an apple pie and come
back. So then moving on to finish.
Yeah,
if you want to do that,
please. Or are you asking me to do it?
Well, this is where I'm getting more of the oaky notes and a little bit of the drying notes from the oak, and kind of like what you're talking about with the sour that you get.
And I also feel that it's a little bit dry on the finish. This is where the finish is where I do get a little bit of the alcohol spice, a little bit of alcohol pepper, and then tobacco.
Right.
I'm feeling a little bit of tobacco at the end here. You smell it up front. It's not really in the taste until the finish, which is the same with a lot of bourbons too.
Yeah, and I find also a little bit in there the citrus follows through to the end.
Good call.
I think it might just be the freshness of probably a relatively young whiskey.
So I also found that when the water shows up in this bad boy, a little bit in there, this is when when you smell it again after the water, please do me this favor.
Yep.
The tang really comes out. The sour tang on the nose.
It almost
doesn't it?
Yeah, it actually kind of like
it gets really tangy.
Reminds me of, and this is probably a terrible thing to say, but it reminds me of Sunny D a little bit. I don't know.
There's your citrus note. I guess
citrus,
is Sunny D even real citrus?
I don't know. Is it real oranges? It's real D.
Fuck. The water, so it increases the tang, but it definitely waters it down a bit.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's kind of like Captain Obvious, but you definitely, sometimes the water emboldens the flavors.
Yeah.
I found that it does drown it out a little bit. It doesn't take water well, in my opinion.
Sometimes, and a lot of the time with bourbons, it will sweeten it up a bit. And I think with the wheat, does tend to have interacts with water that way, and it sweetens it up.
Yeah.
Just in my humble opinion.
In your incorrect opinion.
Yeah, my totally stupid opinion. Okay, so I gave this guy a 24.41.
Okay.
You gave it a 25.5.
I'm a fan.
Which equals 24.95, which is basically 25. So, and that's out of 33.3.
So for $30 blah 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 dollars, pretty good.
I'd say so. I think this is like a total staple you should have in your cupboard at all times.
Yeah. No,
It's a good morning whiskey. It's a good
lunch whiskey.
It's a good middle of the night before you have to take a piss kind of whiskey.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's what you do?
No.
Get up in the night?
No, I don't.
So anyway, yeah, we like it. And is it the poor man's Pappy?
Who knows?
You decide. Anyway, it's good.
His words, not mine.
Cheers.
Trenny and C.